So even though we're going to be breaking things down this meeting, you want to use your whole brain to play a whole game. This is number 10, Beyond Foundation for the 16th of April, 2026, our final lesson of the semester. And what we're going to do is put everything together. And this applies to tournament match play. There's money you guys should have down already. So what is our mantra? What's step one? You guys have to jump in because we don't have Jane today.
Get the match score.
Match score.
That's right. What's the match score? How many points do you need? How many points does our opponent need?
Cube.
That's what's important. So,
Game plans.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm jumping to 2.
I'm turning the volume.
Game plan.
Hold on a second. Okay, say again.
Have a game plan.
Have a game. This is number 2, right? So,
Game plan, yeah.
yeah, number 2 is game plan. Not only our game plan, but our game plan for us and our game plan for our opponent, right?
Yep.
What's step 3?
Cube.
Insert the cube. So you need to know where is the cube? What do we need to do before we can double? And what do they need to do before they can double us? Right? So what's step 4 of our mantra?
Make the best play.
Yep, find the best play. So based upon our best game plan against their game plan. So remember that we can always be playing multiple game plans at one time. There's always a component of the racing game plan and the contact game plan and the priming game plan, the attacking game plan. Sometimes one is more prominent than the other. And sometimes we want to put all of our baskets, essentially put almost all our eggs in one basket and play towards maybe an attacking game plan. So this is what I want you guys to do during this whole example, during this whole lesson. So if we have an example, and we have 11 away, 11 away. So we each need 11 points to win the match. What's our step 1? I want you guys to tell me what your doubling strategy is at this match score. Both in the leading situation and the trailing situation. Then we go to a position. We'll use step 2. What are our game plans? In the early part of a match, and even sometimes and then also in the murky middle, right? We've got the opening phase, the murky middle, and then the end game, where everything is crystallized. But especially in the opening and in the murky middle, we'll use strategic visualization to try and figure out, do we have a priming game plan or do we have an attacking game plan? And we'll make moves that further those game plans. For step 3, I want you guys to consider the cube and tell me if we should or should not double, or are we on the verge of being doubled? And then we will find the best move, okay? Based upon your opponent's game plans and your game plan. And again, consider multiple game plans for you. Okay, you guys ready to get started? Example 1, we're going to use our mantra to help us make decision. Okay? So I chose different examples from different matches to try and illustrate different concepts. So what's going on here? What's the first thing we look at?
Match score.
Match score. What is the match score?
It's 0-1 for a 15-point match.
Mhm.
So 15 away, 14 away.
Right. So we've got the 14 away. And then what phase of the game are we in? So I'm sorry, so in terms of our doubling strategy, because it's the beginning of a longer match, it's pretty much going to be just like money. Okay, so whatever feel you develop or how important gammons are when you're playing, then you'll use the same feelings for making your moves also, and your doubling strategy. So what phase of the game are we in? Are we the opening, the middle, or the end game?
The opening phase.
Opening game, right? And so our doubling strategy is match score, just like money, right? Because of the match score far away. And then what are we trying to achieve in the opening phase?
Make a prime.
We might try, right? So maybe we're making points, so that's really important in the opening part of the game. What about
Contain
hitting?
our opponent's checkers.
Yep. And
Move our back checkers up.
right, you want to split them too, right? Why do we split them?
To make anchors.
Either to make an anchor, hopefully an advanced anchor, because once we do
Easier to
that,
get out.
right? Yeah, so once we make an advanced anchor, they takes away two of their game plans or attacking in their primary game plans. To improve our chance of escaping our back checkers and to improve our chances of hitting one of their blots in their outfield. So then those are the main things we want to do. In the beginning, right? Is that we want to hit checkers, make points. I'm missing a slide here. There we go. Make points, hit blocks, split our back checkers, but essentially what we're trying to do is to develop our position faster than our opponent's position. So we know that's one of the good things of hitting somebody. We send them back in the race, but we also take away half their roll. Makes it harder for them to develop. Sometimes choosing between hitting a blot and making a point in the opening phase can be the most difficult decision. So BG is basically risk versus reward. We're take the right amount of risk to get the right amount of reward. So what's going on here? Who's winning?
Well, the race is tied. Well, actually, no. The person on roll
We're on roll.
would be ahead.
Yep, we're a little bit ahead. A little bit ahead in the race. Are we a little bit ahead in the game?
I think we have a slightly better distribution of builders to improve our prime.
Slightly better, right? But pretty much it's like almost 50-50. We just have a slight advantage. So what do we want to do before we roll the dice? What would we like to do?
Consider the cube.
So because it's equal, even, right? We probably don't have a double here. It's at the beginning of a long match. And so number 4 in our mantra is find the best move. Okay. So in thinking about the cube, let's say we figure that we're a little bit better than where we are right now, near even game. And we look at our market losers. So hitting another checker and that, hitting that checker on their 8 point or 16 points, that might be enough to make it a market loser, to be a market loser. But we want to hit that 8 blot in the 8 point. We want to make an advanced anchor. And we want to make the bar and the 4 points to strengthen our prime. So with this roll, can we hit the blot on their 8 point?
No.
No, it's a 7, but it's a blocked 7, right? 6-1-1-6, 2-5-5-2. Would have hit from the 23 point. 6-2-2-6, 5-3-3-5 would hit from the 24 point. So those are good hitting numbers. Can we make an advanced anchor? No. 3-2 would make the best anchor to make our 21 point. But you can also make an an anchor with a 2-1. Give you a 22 anchor, not as far advanced, and also a 6-5. Right? So 6-5 instead of running, you'd want to make that advanced anchor, the bar point. Can we make the bar or the 4 point? Nope. But 6. So you look at the 13 point, our midpoint, the 10 point, and the 8 point. 6s, 3s, and 1s will all make the bar point in combination, some doubles. And so if you look at all of them, it's 6-1 and 1-6, 6-3 and 3-6, 3-1 and 1-3, double 1s, double 3s, and double 6s that have all made the bar point. To make the 4 point, we need combinations of 6s, 4s, and 2s to make the bar point. I mean the 4 point. So that means something like double 6s is a great roll. We can make both the bar point and the 4 point with double 6s. So we can't directly achieve any of these objectives. But can we prepare to achieve them?
Yes.
Yeah, so what can we do? Let's see. What are some of our possible moves? Well, first of all, let's still saying it again. How much risk should we take to achieve our reward? That's always an important consideration.
8-5 and 6-2.
8-5 and 6-2. Ooh, we're gonna hit, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so why would we do that? What's our purpose in hitting him?
To put a blot there to start building up our prime more.
Well, that would signify more of an attacking game because if we try and imagine a prime field, it's probably somewhere between the 10 and the 4 point, or the 9 and the 3 point, or the 8 and the 2 point eventually. But right now our checkers are further back.
Yeah.
So imagine a prime field maybe to the 4 point. So it's good that we're hitting them and taking away half the roll. But let's come back to that hitting part of it a little bit later.
How about 24, 21, 13, 9?
That's my vote.
Okay, so we're letting them attack us on the 21 point. So since we know that in the opening phase hitting is good, but we also know that getting hit can be bad. Especially when the race is really close. It send you back, and when the race is close and you get hit, it can change the equities quite a bit. So yes, we have brought a checker down to maybe improve our prime field, and we stepped up to try and make an advanced anchor. But maybe that gives them a little bit too much flexibility. So maybe we can try combining those two plays. Stepping up to the 21, Alan and Kathy like, and then hitting with the from the 6 to the 2 point with the 4. That takes away half the roll. It distracts it. It distracts makes it harder for them to come after us on the 21 point. So I think that combination play of what you guys have both thought about is worthy of consideration. Right? Hitting with the 4 and then stepping with the 3. What else
That's
you
not
guys?
too much risk.
I'm going to turn up some more. I can barely hear you, Alan.
So that's not too much risk.
Hitting with the 4,
Yeah.
it's less risk than coming down with the 13 to 9. Right? You're exposing blots. You're giving them the full roll. You look at all the rolls, all the rolls they have next turn. You got a lot of good rolls. I got 7s to hit you, 8s to hit you, 2s, 4s, and 5s to attack you on the 21 point. So they've got more good numbers by playing the 4 down when you come up to the 21 point. So what other plays should we consider?
There's always the safe play, just
Uh-huh.
13 to 6.
The safe cowards play, right?
Yes.
Well, it's not always the cowards play, right?
The prudent play.
That's very worthy. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Why are you guys so soft? That's full. I've got the volume of the TV up all the way, and I've got the computer volume up also all the way. Okay. So I'm sorry, what was that after the cowards play?
Oh, I said it was the prudent play.
Yes, it can be the prudent play, right? But that would be the play that a beginner would immediately make. Right? Risk no blots and just try to bring your checkers home safely. Right? But in this position, getting hit on the 8 point is kind of big. So you may want to consider that play. Okay.
You could
So-
slot the 4, but you've got a double hit there.
I'm sorry, Kath?
Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, wait, yeah, you could do that. You could bring,
Go back. Hmm.
one of the things you could do is slot the 4 and step up to the 21, but that's really high risk.
Yeah, that's a bit much, right? You're not likely to achieve your objective of making a point.
Oh, but you could hit the 1.
I'm sorry, good.
Could hit the 1, go 8 to 1.
Okay. So using strategic visualization, this one plays better as a priming game as
Yeah.
opposed to an attacking game, right? So we would probably want to lean towards priming if we can. So let's look at each of the plays. This is the prudent play right here. Okay. And we haven't exposed any more blots. But we also haven't added any point building numbers, except maybe double 2s, right? That one plays a little bit better. But we really haven't added any builders. What about this one right here? Is this better? Have we added any point building numbers? Well, let's see. We now have, to make the bar point, we have 6s, 3s, 2s, and 1s. Kind of 1s because we stripped our 8 point now. So it's not really a builder anymore. And then to make the 4 point, we have 6s, 5s, 4s, 2s, and 1s. But again, the 8 point is stripped. So we have essentially one less builder there. But our risk now is getting hit on our 8 point. So in balance, we really haven't added enough builders to justify the risk of it getting hit. And this is the other play, the combination of Kathy and Alan's play with Sydney's play, stepping up, but distracting them by hitting them on the 2 point. Okay. So let's see. Okay. And why would we want to step up like this? Because it looks like they're building a prime also. And we want to make that anchor at the edge of their prime. Okay. So we're going to go to Okay. So this is that last play. Let's look at all the plays though. Okay. So this is what XG thinks is the best play. The beginner's or prudent play. Okay, it doesn't think that the risk of having that ball on the 8 point is that good. This is the play that I made, and I didn't really look at it deeply. I thought, hey, look at all these extra builders, but there really aren't a lot of extra builders. So this is the blunder. Right? It's not worth the risk of leaving that blot there to get hit, and I really haven't added that many builders, even though that appears to be the case. This play is even better than the play that I made. You're doing two things. You're stepping up to the edge, trying to make an advanced anchor, and you're distracting them, taking away half their roll, so slowing down their development. Okay, so
What about the 8-1? Why is it not good?
It's better than my play, right? Takes away half the roll. You know, my play just tried to do too much. This one right here. So the risk versus the reward wasn't there. So this one is better. You have a higher winning percentage. And there we go. Compared to the best play, slightly lower winning percentage, slightly lower gammon chances to make this play right here, 8-1. And you guys talked about 24-21, 13-9, bringing the 4 down. Okay. Again, doing the risk versus reward, it's not quite worth it. It gives them too much freedom to really come after us. Okay. And then anything that breaks points like this, not so good. And then double slotting into their double hit. Okay, so you guys are up now. I don't think we need this one anymore. Okay, you're going to play this from Bill Arkin's point of view. Yeah, he's from the Hollywood Hills, an old timer like me. And during the fires in Altadena and other parts of Los Angeles, the fire just stopped across the street from him. He's really lucky.
him.
Yeah. So he has a 6-1 as black to play. How do you play 6-1?
Are we going through the steps?
Yes, we should always go through the steps. Right?
All right, so it's 15 away, 15 away. Cube is like a money cube.
Okay.
And it's too early to double right now.
Okay, I agree. Early to double, right? You guys all agree too early to double?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. He's got 1 point in his inner board. This original 5 checker on the 6 point. He's got a stripped 8 point. He's got a blot on the 7 point. He's got his back checker split. But we have better distribution and we have a better board than he does. Right? We have a spill on our 8 point. He doesn't. We have a 2 point board. He's got that 1 point board. So he's probably a little bit of the underdog.
Yep.
So that's the tournament score situation. And then that also is, the next thing is look at so in terms of tournament score, it's gonna be just like money. Right?
Yep.
And then looking at game plans, what are our game plans?
We can move towards a prime.
And so if he starts his prime, he's going to be a little bit behind the development because we've got a good situation here, right, for building our prime.
Right.
Attacking game plan.
Attacking game plan. So what does that mean? So you play 8-2, 2-1? Or should he play 22-15 hitting?
I think 22 to 15.
Okay. So there's a hitting play. What about a point making play like 13-7 and 24-23? What about that? Well,
Yeah, making a point is good.
making a point is good. Yep. But again,
Make a point.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think probably double hit so that you're taking away his chance to build any more on his board.
Okay. So that would be the purpose of
Oh
that.
no, you can't double hit, I'm sorry. But at least hit the 15.
Okay. So again, making a point and deciding between that and hitting a block can be some of the most difficult decisions in the opening phase.
Seems like if you hit the 15, the 7's going to be really vulnerable because
Yeah,
you're basically going to have 3 ways to hit that, assuming you don't roll double 6s.
right.
Yeah, 3 ways to hit that. And you're gonna also have lots of ways to hit the checker on our 10 point, his 15 point with ones and twos.
Yeah.
So right. So
I think if you're going to hit the 2 and the 1.
You can also double hit 2 and 1, yeah.
right, but we've got only 8 checkers in the zone. So probably, even though our purpose is to keep us from building, we're destroying our position.
Yeah.
And
Make the
we don't
7
really
point.
have enough. We don't have really enough to make an attacking game plan work.
Make the 7 point.
So okay, so we've narrowed it down to making 7 point or hitting on the 15 point, right? Okay, look at the difference between these 2 plays. This is making the point versus a big blunder of hitting. Why? Exactly for the reason that Kathy says. He's not likely to be able to achieve anything because, especially the checker on the 7 point is hit.
Yeah.
Nothing. You gain nothing really from this exchange. You hit a checker, but you're going to get hit back harder. Right? So in this case, making the that point, right, and playing the only real ace you can play, 24-23, turns out to be the best play. I think Mochi is kind of on the fence for this right now, but he says, okay, I'm trying to decide between hitting or making a point. Sometimes he says making a point is better in general, right? And he says sometimes hitting is better in general. So I haven't heard him definitively say, which ones are better. But I guess you narrow it down to certain situations, and yes, you can see then making points better or hitting is better. So have we talked about this guy completely right here? I think so, right? So this is Bill Arkin's play. And we need to go to okay, I've lost the document. Here we go. I'll find it here.
Whether or not the president can try to express economic empathy. That's something that we just have to have a lot of people doing that.
Now I'm using like 4 windows here. And it's loading up my notes for this lecture. Usually my notes are inside the slideshow. But I put them in a document this time around. And I'm checking to see, let's see. If we looked at everything with this match right here. Yes, we've looked at everything for this move, but there are more positions in the same match. Okay. So what I was trying to do when I look for these positions is to try to illustrate concepts. Like when to play bold, when to make a play based upon your potential cube action. Illustrate strategic visualization, illustrate gammon go, gammon safe situations, etc. Because there's a lot of things in backgammon, right? So with this one right here, we want game 9, move 3.5. Okay, so go through that procedure right here. Match score.
So we have 5 away and he's 9 away.
He's 9 away, uh-huh.
Uh, I don't know how that differs from Money Game, other than the trailer's a little more loose with the cube.
So in general, when you're trailing, we already know what happens. We're 1 away, host Crawford, and far away from winning. We automatically double, right? If they are 2 away and we're far away, we can be more aggressive for the cube because they don't have a recube anymore. And less so as we get further away, as we, the one being closer to winning, they will still double more aggressively because the points will be more, especially the gammon points, will be more valuable to them than to us. Okay. So in general, you're trailing. You often want to make a little more aggressive moves and aggressive cubes. So not a huge amount here. So our cube strategy is, or his cube strategy, he's playing an attacking game plan. We're probably playing an attacking game plan too. And so what's number, that was the 3rd step in our mantra.
Consider the cube.
Consider the cube. Should we?
Yep.
Looks like a decent double, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're playing an attacking game plan. Pretty good distribution. We're also attacking the blot on the 14 point. So it's worthy of a cube, or worthy of looking at. Maybe it's a cube. Okay. So let's say we don't cube. What's the best move with double 4s?
Well, we
Make
can.
the 5. Sorry.
I was going to say we can hit the blot on the ace point.
We could, uh-huh. I don't know if I'm looking at the right position here. Let's see.
We leave a blot.
Game 9, move 3.5. On his game plan, attacking game plan. And I think, oh, I see what's wrong. Okay,
Oh, there.
this makes more sense. I had it set on final. Okay, so double 4s to play from here.
Okay.
So it looks like I play it better as an attacking game plan. So 2 are going to be where?
Hit the 4.
Make the 4, yep. Hit on the 4 point. And what about the other 2?
Bring 2 down from 13.
Yeah, bring more attackers into the zone, right? We're playing an attacking game plan, so
Yeah,
we want more checkers in the zone to help us with our attacking game. What about splitting, going from 24 to 20? Is that worthy of consideration?
Yeah, because then we can pick up that 3rd checker maybe.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, you can attack that blot, but you really want to make, if you can close them out, close Willy Wonka out, that's even better. So probably bring a checker down to the 9 point, a second checker down to 9 points is better, because usually in an attacking game plan, you don't worry about moving your back checkers. unless they're in imminent danger of crashing somehow. So even though you're going to be attacking another checker on the 14 point, it's probably better to bring another checker down to the 9 point to continue your attack. Okay. So here is bringing 2 down, which XG thinks is the best. Right? And coming up here, it considers a blunder.
Mm.
Right? Because again, the focus has got to be on attacking. So let's say he comes in on the 3 point, or Willy Wonka comes in on the 3 point, and you attack with the checker from the 9 point. Now you don't have another checker out there still, but if you got a second checker
No.
on the 9 point, you have another way to attack again. Right? So focus on the attack. So he's a good player. He plays an older style. And so he would have evaluated this as lesser than stepping up here, right? The older style players will tend to make more balanced plays that work on both sides on the board. But sometimes you want to go in whole hog, with your attacking game plan. Okay, I'm going to talk less. Game 9, move 4. What are we looking at before and after? We're looking at okay. Okay. So now he's done this. He stepped up 24 to 20 after he made the 4 point and brought his checker down from the 13. What's the tournament score? Well, we want to be a little more aggressive. What's the next thing with step 2?
What's the game plan?
What game plan is he playing? He's playing attacking game plan. We're flat-footed. Right? What's step 3?
Consider the cube.
Do we double?
Yes.
Yes. Any other opinions?
Well, so I think it's an easy drop if we do double.
Right. So using Wolsey's law, it's an easy drop. So the question next becomes, should we play on?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you want to just double and have him drop and then you just get another point because it doesn't look like you'd have a gammon anyway?
Well, if we close out 2 checkers, there's a good chance we have a gammon. He's got 7 checkers in the outfields, right? You've got 3 on the 13, 1 on the 11, 3 on the 8. All those checkers in the
That's a
outfield.
gamble, though.
Right? So yes, I mean, we can we'd settle for 1 point, or maybe we can get more by being greedy. How's the game going to turn around?
Well, I was thinking there's not much risk by playing on because in almost all cases we could double them out next turn anyway. Like if it goes
Exactly, that's it. So the chances of it turning around are not that great. Right? So you might as well plan for the gammon here. Sometimes the gammon might be 4%, right? But your chances of having a turnaround and your chances of turning into losing position can be so low that you can go on for a gammon. Maybe only 4% chance of winning a gammon. Right? So the evaluation of playing on is right. You're too good to double here. You should play on. So it's an error not to double. Well, it's an error to pass it, right? And it's a big. I mean, it's good. It's good to pass it if you're so good, but you're letting him off the hook. And then if he does take it, you've gained a lot.
So when do you weigh out that kind of risk that maybe he will take it, so you're gonna win anyway?
Okay, so if we apply Wolsey's law from the start, What happens if, so you put yourself in your opponent's position. And if the answer is yes, I'm always going to take this, and what's the cube action?
But don't you want him to take it?
Right. So we'll get there, right?
Yeah.
So if the answer in your opponent's point of view is I will always take the cube, then it's not going to be a double, right? If it's I'll drop the cube, then it could be a double drop. And with Wolsey's law, if the answer is I don't know if I'm double, should I take this? Then it's almost always a double, right? So in the
Okay.
case where I'm going to drop, then you have to look at, well, maybe it's too good a double. Maybe you should be playing on for a gammon. Right? So it's like having anti-jokers what are the chances of the game turning around? Not much. So you might as well play on for the gammon here. That's the point of this position right here. Okay? The chance
Let me ask you another question. So if the match score was reversed, would you double so you could just get a 7, one more point, or still not because
well, if we
still
need,
follow the rules?
right, if we need only 5 points and we double and we get a gammon, all 4 of those points still work for us. So
Right.
we still want to play on maybe. But let's say we only needed 2 points, or let's say 3 points, right? And we double them. Not all of the gammon points work for us. We get 1 point of overage, which really doesn't help us to win the match. If we only
Right.
need 2 points and we double and they don't drop, they might drop in situations where they have like a 3% chance of winning or something, right? Something really small. But if they do take it, right, they're going to send it right back again at us. So you have to be careful that when we're 2 away and they are, our opponents are further away.
9 away. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So another position from this one right here is game 10 match move 8.5. Switch. Yeah, because it's already from Bill's point of view. Okay. What's going on here? First of all, what's the match score and how does that affect our doubling decisions?
Or 5 away, 8 away.
Or say it from the point of view from the person that's
It's-
on roll or who's turning, right? So 8 away, 5 away. And so what's
So you'd be a little less aggressive than before,
okay, well, let's
but
see.
still,
Who's winning, who's losing in the match?
You're winning.
Right, white's winning, black's losing right here, right? Black needs the 8 points. So black wants to be a little more aggressive. But maybe if I'm not hearing you guys properly, let me know, okay? I don't know why the bottom is so low. Okay. So what game plans is everybody playing?
Looks like priming.
Prime, yeah.
Okay. So yes, priming. Okay. And who's got a better prime?
You do.
Yep, Willy Wonka does.
The whites.
The white has better one, right? So 1 match score, what it means for our doubling action, 2 game plans for both us and them. And 3 is consider the cube. He's the one that's not doing so well in the game, so probably not a cube, right? Because if he says, I'm going to double, what would white answer? Yes, I'm going to take this every single time.
Yeah.
So roll the dice, find the best move. We rolled the 5-4. What's the best move?
think you definitely want to cover the 8.
Okay. And then what would you do with the 4?
Six to 2.
62, yeah.
Okay. So that's only gonna be a liability for the rest of the game. Because you're probably playing a priming game, right? Not a an
Yeah.
attacking game.
You bring another one down from the 13 point.
Yep, you could extend your prime backwards. Well, 5 would hit.
Yeah,
But if you don't,
there's a lot of risk there.
a lot of risk, because
Yeah.
the biggest risk is that if you don't take away half of my roll, I'm going to do something on my side of the board, improve. Right? If I don't hit you with the 5, um, I'm going to be improving my position, maybe making the 8 point, maybe be even better, making the 3 point. So in prime versus prime games, you want to step up to the edge to either make an anchor there or to escape. And on the other side of it, you want to tack off of the edge of the prime. So I'm at the edge of his prime, so maybe he wants to use 4 to hit me. And once he hits me, then bring your trigger down with the 5 to have another builder in place. So that may be the best play. So this is what XG thinks. Get off the edge, take away half my roll so that white can improve his position right here. Second is extending the prime.
Hmm.
Right? But notice 5s work on this side right here, hitting. I don't have 5s on this side to make the 3 point, but I do have 5 ones to make this right here. So basically either I hit or I use the other numbers to make the 3 point. So, but he has to do something drastic, like hitting me off the edge. So both of these are good, right? This is the more direct way of just trying to build the prime. But again, I've got better timing than him too. Because of the way my checkers are positioned. He has a stack here on this innerboard points. And then like this one right here, right? Because that liability of that checker in the 2 point. If you're going to play a priming game, you don't want to be able to hit or you don't want to be able to make the point, or you really can't hit loose anymore because of this block. Okay. Game 10, move 10. Oops, I don't think I'd switch the Okay, well, let's flip it around here. Because white's on roll right now. No soft board. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So take us through our steps. Step 1. We're winning. We need 5 points. He needs 8 points. We want to be a little more conservative with the cube, especially because he's even away. If we send a cube to 2 and he sends it right back to 4, right? And he wins a gammon, he could win the match. So so the next thing is game plans.
Priming.
Priming in both cases, right? Prime versus prime. So one way to notate that is PVP. And then consider the cube. Is this a cube?
If I was white, I'm not sure I would take.
Right. Exactly. So let's say you're more on the side of I might take. So double, and according to Woolsey's law, and this here on the side of I'd probably drop it. You're not going to get a lot of gammons here, so double. So in both cases, double. So this looks like a double right here, right? Why would this be a double? when he's escaped one of his checkers, we still have one checker back. Why would this be a double?
I guess the main thing is you have 20 or more shots to hit that blot, and you have a 5' then.
Right.
And you also have opportunities to get out from behind his prime.
You guys can see this one. And we want this guy right here. Okay. So we had 1s and 5s to hit, right? So that would be, let me make sure you guys don't see that bar. You don't see the bar. Okay. I see the bar, you don't see the bar. So all 1s. Right? What color should you use? How's about this one right here? Right? One's with the black die, and one's with the red die. So if you had just a single direct, then there's 11 numbers minimum, and you have to add in the extras, right? So we also have 5s in this position. So that's 11 ways with a single direct, but we have 5s also in this position right here. So all the red die 5s. And all the black die 5s. So that's 20 numbers, right? Goes from 11, you get 9 more, you get 20 numbers. But then there's also some indirects, right? 4-1 we already counted is one way to indirectly hit it. And then 3-2 and 2-3. Do this individually. We have the 20 direct numbers, and then we have the indirects. We have 22 numbers that hit. And we're talking about volatility here. You guys see if I do this right here. You don't see that one. Oh, you do. Okay. If you hit it, essentially it's a last roll situation. The volatility is so big. The game changes in terms of your equity for winning tremendously. That this is just like a last roll situation. So if volatility is higher, then you want to ship the cube. If the volatility is really low, you don't really want to think about the cube, or you're not as likely to want to push that cube over. But we have high volatility like this of hitting with 1s and 5s plus the 3-2 indirect.
Would you also want to consider the 6-2 just because it gets you out from behind that prime to a safe spot?
Okay, hold on a second, Jeff. We got an ambulance going by,
Okay.
and then you guys are really soft. Maybe I should take this second to try and figure out
Yeah, I can switch my mic.
why my volume is so low. I don't know. Okay, well, maybe there's something here. It's muting, just muting, I'm unmuting. What was that again, Kathy?
In terms of thinking about volatility, would you also want to consider the 6-2 roll because that gets you out from behind the prime and gets you to the 13?
Right, 6-2, and even better, the double 6s.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yes, those are also really good rolls. So finding floating point, analyze dice distribution. So look at these. The more green it is, the better it is for you. The more red it is, the worse it is for you. And look at how it breaks down. A lot of solid greens with all of our hits are here, right? The ones are the 1s and the 5s that hit, plus the 3-2. And double 6s to escape. So all those are really good rolls for us. And the other ones are just the opposite, right? The ones that don't hit, don't escape. And so 6-2 is actually a little bit better for him because he might be able to roll a 1 to hit you. But you see how it breaks down into really good rolls and really bad rolls. So that indicates the volatility in this position right here, instead of a range of reds to greens. So this right here, where did it go? Cube. So Willy Wonka did not double this right here. He should have thought about it a little bit longer. So again, always consider the cube when we do our mantra, right? The match score and what it means about our doubling strategy, game plan, ours and theirs. Consider the cube, find the best move. So I should have thought longer about this one right here.
It's interesting to see that it's an easy take. I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah. Yep, it's a solid take, right? Well, I made almost a double whopper, not doubling. Right? Okay, so 4 away, 8 away, game 11, match 23. Or move 23. And are we in the initial? Yep.
$15, $11.15.
Okay. So what time is it now? 10. Okay. Let's do this 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. We'll get 3 more. Okay. 3-2. What are our plays here? What can we do? The cube's already shipped over there, so we're now don't have to worry about the cube. And are gammons good for us? Yes, we want a gammon here, we win the match. So gammons are good. And if we don't get hit, then winning a gammon is a good choice, or a good chance of happening. Okay. So what are the 2 plays we should be considering?
Well, we can take a checker off, 5 to off.
Mm-hmm.
You can move
Good.
both checkers from the 6, so you only have 1 blot.
Uh-huh. So we can play either 6 to 1 or 6 to 3 and 4. So what's the difference between 6 to 1 and 6 to 3 and 4? Well, if we have our checkers on our blot here on this 3 point, they only have 11 numbers to hit us. Right? Only direct ones.
Yep.
We have our blot here on the 6 point, they have 11 numbers for the direct 4s, plus they have 1, 3. They have 2
Yep.
numbers that hit us, another 5% that'll hit us. And in this position, not getting hit means that we have a better chance of gammoning him and winning the match. Why would Mike make the mistake of playing 6 to 1 instead of playing 6 to 4, 6 to 3?
Well, if you don't get hit, then it's the question of what's easier to clean up next turn.
Exactly. Right? And it looks like it's easier to clean up if you don't get hit. But those 2 hits are pretty big, right? That 5% is pretty big. So sometimes it's right to do that, right? Give them a little more in terms of hitting chances, because sometimes those hits don't necessarily lead to wins. And sometimes it's better to play for the immediate, play the least number of shots next turn. So that's something you have to balance. Should I leave fewer shots right now, or should I leave more shots but have a better chance of cleaning up? Because if you can't clean it up, it keeps repeating and repeating and repeating, leaving blots, and that's as bad sometimes as leaving a couple extra shots. So In Willy Wonka's defense, he was playing a lot of matches when he was tired. And because this semester has been a lot of work, but this is the move that he made, right? The 2 extra shots, blunder, versus this right here, which looks like it's going to be harder to clean up. Anytime you have an internal blot, that can be harder to clean up. Okay? So even better would have been the other move that suggested taking a checker off. Every checker you take off gets you closer to winning a gammon. Okay? So game 11, move 23. Move 20, we just got that one. Game 13, move 1. And we've got to go to initial, not final. 13. Okay. So Willy Wonka has a 3-2 to play. He's now winning. He only needs 2 points. And Bill only needs 6 points. Right? So this is one situation where the match score will affect your opening roll and how you play it. So what is the goal of the opening phase of this match score? What's the goal?
Build a prime?
Maybe build a prime. If we build a prime, we just win an undoubled gammon. Without during the cube, we can win a gammon, win the match. Right? How bad is losing a gammon for us? It can be pretty bad, right? Because he can turn the cube to 2, and if we lose a gammon, we've lost 4 points. And the match is now all tied up. So that means we would want to make an advanced tanker even more than regular. XG will say that a money play, 2 down will be the strongest play. But it also has the split of 21 to 21 with the dropping 1 down, and also the minor split, playing the 22 point and dropping 1 down. Those are close. But it thinks that when it looks at all the games, it thinks that 2 down is better. Right? But at this match score, it's a little bit different. Because of not wanting to lose gammon for black. So it says this is not necessarily the best play anymore. Right? Because priming games are even better for your opponent here, this match score. And they mean nothing to you, or they mean very little to you if the cube gets turned, or you don't have the gammons anymore. Versus this play, which you consider the top play, and then the Z split, the minor split. Both of those are attempting to make an advanced tanker. And when you're leading in the match, your doubling decisions will be easier, whether to double or whether to take. It'll be easier if you're playing, if you have an advanced tanker. Okay. So leading in the match, you'd like to play racing game plans. You do not want to play a contact game plan necessarily because you can lose a gammon more often in a contact game plan. And that also true with priming game plans, which are oftentimes 2-edged swords. We're both playing a priming game. So you tend more leading like this to either play a racing game or maybe a holding game like this, right? Okay. And then one more, we'll take a break. In 13, match 6, move 16, initial move. Let's see. Same match score, 2 away, 6 away. What does that mean about our doubling strategy as black?
You have to be careful because if you double and they take, they can double back and then they can win.
Right, so which means that if we're gonna have a chance to, if they don't have a chance to drop, if they don't think they're gonna drop, right? Then they're gonna take and send it back. But I mean, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that you've got to have really high winning chances in order to double and to have them considered dropping. So these are always really
We have a-
hard for me. He's got a good solid prime. It's a broken 6 prime. We're 33 pips up in the race right here. His game plan, contact, which means he can either win the race. That's not a big component here because he got so far to go, and we're on roll. Or the other half part of that contact game plan is to generate a blot, hit that blot, contain the blot, and win from there. Okay, so that's really his main way to win this thing. Do we clear this position enough that we can double him? For me, that's always murky.
Yeah.
Because we've got to be so good. Well, XG thinks that yes, we are good enough. We are 84% chance to win this thing. And so we should double them, and they'll do better by dropping and going behind, needing 6 points, us needing 1 point, and being Crawford. So it would be a big one for him to take this thing. So don't be completely stifled in not doubling, being ahead in the race, but also be really, really careful about turning that cue.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, let's take like a 5-minute break and we'll come back, okay?
Okay.
So I think that it's going to be totally important. The economy is a burden on the capital voters. They expected a gold make. They were promised the tariffs on the silver checks. They were promised the checks should gauge all of these things. They break those promises over and over again. And the price of gas is sustainable. And the price of groceries when that is sustainable. You can't say, oh, I did $5 for gas. I paid $2 for this. You can't say that. There's a lot of yourself. So I think Trump is going to put a much harder.
Yeah, flurry of text messages from Clyde Dancetta. Oh,
So, but if like Johnson is exclusive,
Testing. You gotta wait for them to talk.
Can you hear me?
Wow. Okay, that made a big difference. That's okay.
Better now?
Much better now. Okay. Thank- Okay. Yeah, you compound the low volume with my deafness and I couldn't hear a thing. So,
Alan, I thought if I did a longer match, I'd be able to beat you, but you're proving me wrong.
Well, we're only partway through, so. We'll see.
I'm going to use my skills today.
You're leading in this game right now, so we'll see.
I did that women in backgammon tournament and I was out right away.
Oh, yeah?
Actually, not right away. It was up to 7 points, and
Yeah,
I figured out how to put it into BG Blitz to analyze it. And that made me feel a lot better because parts of it said I did like really good, and then a few things
right.
like, no, this wasn't good.
That's a way to learn for sure, to do that analysis. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah. Also, I didn't realize like it breaks down every game where it says your performance is at like intermediate level, world
Right, right.
class,
Tells
begin.
you,
I had a couple of them said distracted.
yeah.
Like, what does distracted mean? But
That
she
means
wasn't talking to me.
not very good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they have them every month, so I'm like, okay, next month I'll do better.
That's a good practice.
It's the important thing, improve every month.
Yeah.
Are you going tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll go tomorrow. You gonna go?
Yeah, do you want me to give you a ride?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, great. But we have to be there at 12, so whenever you want to go is fine. Yep.
How about if I pick you up at 11:20 or something, 11:30?
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right,
Right.
see you then. I'm really enjoying the book that you loaned me from Michi, right? Is that his name?
Mhm.
Michi. He has a sense of humor. I like his humor. He's funny.
Yes, he does. Oh, good. Thank you. I will add him to the list at the end. Let's see. We have a lot of trouble jumping between these things today.
I also printed this out. I'm gonna bring it with me at every game.
Okay, good. That is, I mean, that's what we've worked towards over these years, right?
Yeah.
It started off, I mean, before you joined us, it started off really simple. Have a plan, consider the queue, find the best move. And then we added the tournament thing on top of that, right? The first one, because of the tournament score. And then we went into more detail about what it meant to, um, consider the queue, what it meant for game plan, not only our game plan, but also their game plan and how they play against each other also. Right? And let's put Michi in here too. We don't want this one, we want the other one.
What's your dog's name?
This would be Sky. She requires attention every so often.
Sky. Oh, how cute.
Okay, we all here? We're all back? Subu, you here? Yep, okay. And James, I see a screen, okay. Alrighty. So we're going to a different match now. We're looking at Mr. Markland and Mr. Arthur, I don't know his last name. Okay. Looking at the position right here, how does Black win this position?
Well, I should say there's also a question of if I don't win, how do I avoid being gammoned or backgammoned?
How many points does he need? He needs 3. The cube's in the middle, right? So you need 8, he needs 3. And you don't want to get backgammon. You lose a match. Right? But in one sense, you can wipe all those backgammons out by doubling. but you have to be good though, right? You have to be good shape to do that. So from Arthur's point of view, from White's point of view, they also don't want to get gammon. But that's not going to happen in this game, right? He's already has checkers off. They just want to get gammon because they'll lose more in the match equity. Okay, so what is Black going to do here? What is Black trying to do? What's his game plan? He's playing a contact game. He's playing a contact game plan. So what is he trying to do?
Build a prime.
So we'll need a prime, but first he's got to generate a blot and hit that blot, right? So if he's able to hit that blot, then he needs a prime to contain him. And then hopefully he can turn the cube at the right time and win a gammon or just outright win if he goes too far. So the next thing that happened is that Arthur did roll a deuce. And he had to leave a blot. What are we at? 11? 27. Okay, so we'll skip ahead. I'm starting here. Let's just step through from here. Okay. So he has generated a blot. And you see how dangerous that inside strip point was. The 2 will be force him to leave a blot. Had those 2 checkers been from the 3 point had been on the 2 point, it would have been a much safer situation. So he leaves it. Mark hits it. So that's the next step that he needed. He generated a blot. He hit the blot. Now he's got to contain it. That's the next step. So how does he play a 6-1 here? What point are you trying to make next?
Well, the 4 point.
Yep, the 4 point would be the best thing to make. You have a solid 5 prime, right? And if you can't make it, maybe you can put checkers directly to build on that point. Or you can also slot it directly.
So Mike, you're showing the final.
Oh, I am. You're right. Thank you, Mark. This makes a lot more sense. Okay. So you cannot slot it with a 6-1, right? And you cannot make the point. So you could make it if you want. If you could make it, you make it. If you can't make it, what point? Your checkers are all back here. What point do you want to aim at next?
To bring one down to the 10 and then 7 to 6.
Maybe 7 to 6, right? So, but what point are you trying to make? You can't make the 4-point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The 8 point.
The 8 point, right? That means you want to put your builders in range of that 8 point. Okay. So use the 1 to hit, and then think about your 6. And either one of these two is good, right? Although this is good too, because now the further away you are back from a point, the more ways to put a checker there. Okay. So this is good. You're aiming at that. This is good also. Right? But even slightly more accurate, or having the direct 5s and the indirect 8s and 9s at this point right here. Right? He flunks, he can't come in. Then you roll a 6-2 from here. 6-2. What to do?
Mike, on that last one, are you better off trying to make the 8 point or the 4 point?
You're better off making the 4 point if you can do it.
Okay, or setting up to make the 4 point?
Or set, yes, so. Oh, which is why you argue for 7 to 6, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Where is 76? Initial position 6-1. This is the top 7
So-
play right here.
So it really didn't like that.
No, okay. Oh, 7 to 6 because you don't use the ace to hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So make sure you do the important things first.
Right.
Okay. He dances. 6-2 is rolled. In attacking game plans, you usually don't slot a blank point. You might attack that point by hitting a block there, taking that slot away from you. But you usually don't just stick a checker there to try and make the point. And even though Arthur has a really weak board, you still don't want to do that. You'd rather let him come in and come out, and then you try and go after him, or let him come into the 4 point. Maybe if he rolls a 1-3 or double 2s. Let's say he rolls a 1-3, comes up to the 4 point. Then you want to attack him. Then you want to hit him at 4 point. Okay. So let's see. This is the actual gameplay right here. Right? Versus something like this right here, aiming at the 8 point. Right? So don't slot that point directly with the 6. Maybe if you had more builders within range. Where's the 6? What's the check mark? Oh, there it is. Okay. This is the game. This is the game plan right here. Gameplay that was made. Maybe
Wow,
you
it was smooth.
Good. Well, this is how you learn, right? So if you had maybe more builders in place to have a chance to make it, then you might consider slotting it. Okay, so go through this quickly right here. This is the playmate. He comes in with a 1, right? You want to roll, you want to make this 5 prime right here. And you do with an ace. Now you want to aim a checker at the back here. Right? You don't move these guys right here because he rolls a 2, he's going to leave a block for you. He rolls an ace, he's going to step up. So that's not going to help you here, but you don't want to move these guys out. And you'd actually rather be hit with an ace if he couldn't move one back here, because you have more ways to hit him if you're there, because you come in from the bar. You essentially have 2s and 1s to hit him. So you want to bring a 3 to this, to aim at this point. The best one is probably this guy right here, right? But a lot of them are good. Oops. Okay. So now you have a 6 aiming at the back point. Okay. And so Mark's play was good also. Okay. The idea is aim at this back point. This one has 5s and 9s to do it. This one you have 6s and 8s, some more numbers to do it. Okay, he rolls a 1-3, does he? You go 4-2. Okay, he doesn't have a choice. He has to expose a block. We talked about what Mark needs to do to win the game. Right? He's playing contact game plan. He has to generate a block, hit the block, contain the block, win from there. But at what point can you consider doubling? When he has 2 checkers on the bar, then he can really consider doubling. Because one checker on the bar is like having your opponent having 5 checkers off. 2 checkers on the bar would be equivalent of having your opponent having 10 checkers off. So when you hit 2 checkers in this position, you consider turning the cue ball right. Even with that one-sided gammon situation.
Is that because of the match score or even for money?
Even for money.
Okay.
So that's a good rule of thumb. Is 1 checker worth 5 off.
But
1 checker on the bar.
So I know that rule of thumb, but I thought it was if they're closed out. Like, but here he's not closed out. He
Not
could
closed out, right? It's got to be closed out for it to be a proper double. So in order for it to be a proper double for money, right? Then if you haven't the 2 checkers closed out, you have to take off 1 checker, right? So it'd be just like let 1 off versus those 11 off. Then at that point, once you've taken 1 checker off and you have good distribution, then you can double for money.
Yeah.
But again, here you can be a little more aggressive.
Okay.
Okay. So he rolls a 3-1 and he has to hit you. You roll a 4-2, so you don't hit him, right? Well, you do your best to generate another block. By doing this, he no longer has ones. Now, he can't roll something like a double ones, right? To clear that, to safety it all up. So this is actually better making this point here. You're not too worried about being gammon or backgammon because you got to escape. He has to escape this back checker right here. So good play here, Mark. Okay. He rolls 4-2. He's forced to play, leaves a blot for you. You want to hit that guy, right? Maybe you want to hit it so much that you play double 5s by making the 2 and the 1 point, putting him on the bar. But even though it's more long term, it's better just to make the 6 prime here. Hopefully this will still be here, right? Because in all the variations where you have the 6 prime, you know, you're favored to win. I mean, you're favored to get off the gammon, and you might win. If you hit the 2nd checker, then you're in good shape to almost really a lot of the time win. So this was a triple blunder, not making the 5 prime and letting this guy sit. This is what would. Oh no, sorry. What am I doing? Yeah, that's it. This is what you probably want to do because you really want that other checker. So did you consider this one, Mark?
No.
Okay, so I'm making the argument, okay, for this guy right here, yes.
Yeah.
But even more of a priority right now, put him up.
Wow.
Okay. So this is sort of
I have a question about this move here because wouldn't it seem like it would be easier for him to come out
It
than
is.
be contained if you just kept it over there on the 1 or the 2? Then he's more contained, and then you kind of have time to like move around and build up and then start taking off.
Right, but if he safeties this block right here, he's almost guaranteed to win.
Okay.
So yes, he has a direct 6 to come in, and he's already passed your prime. The other way, he'd need a 1 and a 6 to get out, right? Well, this is easier for him. But maybe he'll dance enough that you have a chance to hit this other block, which is really huge. Okay. So he dances. And now what are you trying to do? You still want to get this block right here, right?
Yep,
What can you do to get the block?
roll a 1.
Roll a 1, yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, roll a 1. That's what I can do.
You roll a 1, okay. And if you don't roll a 1,
Roll a 7?
well, so, yeah, 7 would be good, right? So desperate times call for desperate action. So if you roll a 4-2,
Well, I guess you're going to say I should hit, but I sure wouldn't have done that.
well, I'm not going to say it, but this neural that XG says this is what you should do.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not what you did right here.
Yeah.
This right here. Right? So important to pick up that second checker. So look at the winning chances between this play of putting him up on the bar and giving more chance to hit this, versus especially like let's say he rolls a 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, right? And even if he rolls a 1-6, you haven't lost that much in terms of your game winning chances, if any at all, right? 'Cause you got more checkers back to contain them. Yeah. So versus here, you got 43, 44% to win right here, and 55% chance to win this way.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, 6 primes are good, but sometimes you got to break it.
Not so obvious, huh?
If you, I mean, so 1 can, where does it put 2? Where does it play breaking the 3 to 1? So here, it's not like this right here. It's less of a blunder, but it's still a blunder, right? So it's better to put them up by making their 3-point. Okay, so sliding through the rest of this pretty quickly. 3-1. He's going to hit you to get you to maybe get you past him. So you don't have a chance of hitting him. But you do roll a 2 to hit him, right? And you want to roll your 5-4, so you might want to keep your spares back here. But what is even better in this drastic situation?
Double hit?
Double hit, right? You got 2 on the bar. And maybe because of the match score, you'll be able to double him next turn if he dances. Right? So you're not good enough for money to do it, but you might be good enough for this match score. Okay. All right. I think that's the important lessons from this one here. Game 28, move 56. So this was a 25-point match. So this was a long match. And let's see from the match scores here. Mark needs 8 and Arthur needs 3. Then for all the rest of these, after Arthur wins this game right here, he's only 2 away. Mark needs 8, then 7, then 6, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. Okay. So I don't know if I'll have time to get to this one right here, but Mark doubles immediately at two-way, which is the right thing to do, right? Okay. So we're going to, what was that? Game 28, move 56.5. Okay. We'll play from here. So white's on roll. Arthur knows at this, for money, this would be a fairly easy double. The question is it a take? Yes, it's a take. It's a double and a take at this right here. Well, maybe you guys can't see because of the captions here. Can I move the window? Yes, I can move the window.
No, we see it fine.
Oh, you guys see the board without the window, caption window covering it up?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it'll just show up inside the recording. Okay. So Arthur knows that this is a double. Why doesn't he double here?
You trying to get a gammon?
He can't get a gammon because Mark already has 4
Oh,
checkers.
no, yeah. Okay.
Well, if he knows, then the only reason could be he knows he's a stronger player, so he doesn't want to take the risk.
Exactly, right? He's a stronger player. So you might not make doubles you would normally make against a strong player. But if he thinks he's a stronger player, he doesn't want to leave everything up to chance. Right? Either he comes in and hits, big favorite. He dances, it helps your game. Or maybe comes in, doesn't hit. But he doesn't want to put it all inside on the dice roll right here. Just this much luck. Right? So maybe he thinks I'm the stronger player. I think I know that from watching Mark's game. And so I'm not going to I'm not going to leave it all up to luck. Okay. So that's my explanation for why he didn't do it. Game 30, match 4. I'll move 4. Let's see who's black on the bottom. That's Igaraga. Okay. I don't know where to move this caption thing. Okay, so what's the match score and what does it mean to your doubling action? Double action?
Well, okay, so he's 2 away, and I'm more than that away. And last week we covered how that means I should double aggressively.
Exactly, right? Because he's got no recube. Has no value on the cube. He can't use the cube to double you out later on. He's got to play to the very end. Right? So you should be doubling even here. Right? Actually, I can just keep these things open. Right? So this is, oops, where are we? Right here. Move 4, move 5. Let's look at why this move is recommended here first. 3-1 to play. Why is this not obvious? This is obvious. Never mind. I don't know why I had that as why the play recommended here. Move game 30, move 4. Okay.
Wait, Mike, on that 3-1, the obvious play is not the top one.
Ooh, okay. Well, you're right. Why is it not the top one? What's your game plan?
Priming,
I mean, what's his game plan?
attacking.
Attacking, and you let him. And he's got a strong board, right?
Yeah.
You only have a 2-point board. He's got a 4-point board. So now he can come after you and win an undoubled gammon by hitting you back. So that's okay. That's why I had that here. Okay. That's why I actually recommended that play. XG is possibly closing in on Archer's possibly closing in on a cube, and he doesn't want to do something as volatile or I mean, you don't want to do something as volatile as giving him a chance to use his strength of his board, right? So in terms of doubling aggressively, he rolled 2-1 and didn't hit you back. And you know now, as opposed to last week, you want to turn the cube here. Or at least you would take a longer look at it from here, right?
Okay, yeah.
So 21 to 10, you rolled a 6-5. You made this point right here. And you couldn't pick this guy up without exposing another blot in a dangerous situation. He rolled 4-2 and hit you. And that's a big swing right there, being hit. Okay? If he doesn't hit you, he has at best 30% chance to win the game. But now he hits you and he's 40% chance to win the game. You roll a great number, roll double twos. Sorry. So I see one of them right away come in. Then two of them, they want to go here. And where's the last one go?
The 4.
The 14.
2 to 4.
The 4. Okay, this is the position right here. Black rolls double twos. So he comes in, uses 2 to make the 4 point. There's one
Yeah.
more deuce to play.
12 to 14.
Well, the 14 is
To 21.
right. Stepping up is good.
8 to 6.
Focus 8 to 6, right? So we weigh everything against each other. We think 8 to 6 is better because it's focusing on our. That's fine right there. Focusing on our offense.
Mm.
The stepping up, we don't really need to step up right here a little further up
Oh, okay.
because we have a good chance of escaping already. And this one leaves another blot, indirect though it may be. But if he hits that blot, we have a 4-point board to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay. So all that being said, you want to focus on the front side of it, right? Do we really want to go through all this right here? Okay, I think that's enough for this game right here. But Mark reaches a point where, let's see, not final cube. Okay, how do we go backwards here? I have to go all the way back like this. Reaches this position right here. 1 checker back, 3 checkers back. And a pretty solid drop if doubled. With the anchor, you don't want to plan for the gammon, or your chances are not that great for getting a gammon. Right? Only 13, 14% to get a gammon with that anchor. So double drop. Whereas he had opportunities before that, like this right here, to consider doubling. Okay? 30, 31, 45. Okay. Game plans. Well, first, so we same match score right here, basically, right? 2 away, 6 away, 2 away. And so it's basically the same doubling strategy. Black is playing more of a what kind of a game? Is it priming or attacking?
Priming.
More priming. Well, maybe more attacking. Right? Because the open point is on the 5 as opposed to maybe on the 1 point.
Oh, I thought you were asking about white. Yeah, okay.
White,
Attacking.
yeah, white's definitely playing a priming game. And black is probably playing more of an attacking game. Who's winning? Or you can also think of this as a priming game for black with the a split or an open, not a solid prime. Okay, open the 5 point. So who's winning?
White?
Well, white's on the bar though.
Oh, no.
I know, but if you count them up, isn't it a little bit whites ahead?
Got a good prime.
You've got a better prime, right? But that immediate 2/3 of the time not being able to come in is pretty big. Right? So right now, actually, black has a 59% chance of winning. White has a 41% chance. So black's a little bit of a favorite. Black wins 21% of the time because black's going to need fives to escape, right? Which means that the crumbling on his side of the board, if he doesn't get that five pretty soon, it's going to be harder to really crumble. If he needed sixes on the other side to escape, and then he rolled fives, and the fives would start crumbling his board. But that's not going to happen here. Fives are going to be escaping. So it's pretty even. Black's the favorite. In enough to double. Yes, you're starting to get into gammons of at least 20%. Then it makes it really scary to take as white. And this is another case where he could have doubled here. And can double here, right? Even though he risks cracking, crunching. Because the fives will escape and he won't crunch as much as he normally would. So Mark wins more gammons in this position. More gammons than Arthur.
This is so scary. I mean, as black, I don't even know if I'm ahead here. I can't believe it's a double.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but even though you're a slight favorite here, right? Make sure I didn't put it. Where were we? Yeah, this move right here, right? The fact that fives let you escape means less crunching, so you can hold your board a little bit longer. Is why you're a little bit of a favorite here. He's trying to come in against 5-point board. It's not a very convincing argument, but realize the match score. 2-way, 6-away, 2-way.
Okay.
Right. That's got to sway you to double. So what about here? You've escaped the checker now. Game 31. Yep. So Arthur dropped this one. Mark doubled and Arthur dropped. Well, Kurt next choose to take by a good amount. I think Arthur is thinking again, I don't want to put so much of the match or the chance of winning this match into the next rolls of the dice. Because I think I can outplay him. So he drops it instead of risking losing 4 points. He does have 7 checkers in the outfield here, which increase the chances of him being gammoned. But even that, overall, the gammons aren't that big. Because Mark has 3 checkers out of action right here. Escaping, even coming out here, he's not going to have much chance to hit, pick and pass or anything. So the gammons are not that high. But Arthur drops this, which gives you an idea of what he thinks about the relative strengths of the two players. Okay. Who's winning this game right here?
I think I'm winning.
Yep, because White's got those 2 checkers stuck on the bar on your 1 point, and he's not going to really have much of a chance to improve his board. He's probably stuck with a 3-point board or worse. This is the rest of the game. So you're winning. Match score is need 5, need 2. Maybe double. And what are the market losers? is entering 2 checkers enough to be a market loser?
Yes.
Yeah, probably, right? Entering 2 checkers is probably enough to be a market loser. So there's enough of those that you should consider doubling. And this is actually a pass for Arthur.
Wow.
Okay. And then you make this play, let's see. Okay. What happened? You danced or something? Is that right? You roll 6-4. You only brought 1 checker in. Then you roll the 1-2 to hit you and put a second checker up again, and then go on to his 4-point, right? Instead of stepping up. And then, should you double here?
Well, this looks slightly worse for me than previously, but I think what happened is I decided I should have doubled, and then I decided to double now.
Okay. So yes, at this point right here, double and pass. Okay. And you win 1 point again. You've been winning 1 point for a little while now. And game 32. Move 11. We just did that, I think, right? Yeah, we just did that one. So you're starting to get the theme, right? Match score means you should be more aggressive with that cube because he doesn't have any recoup vigorish. You can't really do much with it. Okay. So I think this is when you started realizing that maybe you should have been doubling earlier in the match. Is that correct?
But yeah, well, I noticed that he dropped everything that I offered, so yes, I thought I should double earlier.
Okay. So you did double here and you did pass, right? And it wasn't quite a double before that.
Okay.
But see, it's only 5 moves into the game, your 5th move, and you properly double and you properly pass. So Arthur's got nothing going on. You've got your 5-point made. He has one checker down and 1 checker on the roof right now. You still have 3 back, but enough to be able to double this right here. What you've always got all the game plans that you're playing, right? You think of it as a race, you think of it as a priming game, you think of it as an attacking game. If things go poorly, you think of it as a contact game plan. But in this case right here, having the attacking game plan component, which an attacking game plan inherently means you're going to win more gammons, that's enough to push it into a drop. Okay, now we are, what's the match score now? Needing 3, needing 2. Okay. So it's not quite the same as needing 2 and you're further back. It's a little more intricate here at 3 versus 2, but a lot of that sending the cube to them not having a recube equity, not going to be able to double you back, still holds true. So right here, 2-1. He's escaped both checkers. And you're aiming at a blot. You've got direct 2s, which is 11 numbers. Plus you have 6-3 and 5-4, right? Double 3s doesn't work. And so you have 4 more indirects, 5-4 and 6-3. So you have 15 numbers that hit. And that's a big swing. So is that enough to double now? Yep, 60-40 favorite. Not not a heck of a lot of gammons, but enough to double and take. Mhm.
So for money, this would not be a double, right?
Romanius would not be a double,
Okay.
but at this match score, right? And this one, look over there, match game 35. No. Okay. Game 34, 24, 23. Nope. Not this one. You want to look at game 35. And so two-way. And you guys should know that this is an automatic cue. As soon as you can, you turn it, right? So very good. And once it's turned, it becomes double match point. So which game plans are viable at this match score, double match point? Is a racing game plan a good game plan?
Sure.
Sure
You can
is.
play it, yeah.
Is an attacking game plan a viable game plan?
Well, not as much because the gammons don't help.
Exactly, right? So it's still a viable game plan, but it's not as valuable anymore. Priming game plan? Maybe the same thing, right?
Mhm.
What about a contact game plan?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't choose that, but it's a viable plan if you're behind, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when you're playing for money or you're playing at the beginning of a long match, then you really want to discount the contact game plans because you get gammon too much. Right?
Yeah.
But at double match point, you're not going to get gammon. And we've seen from looking at different contact game plans, you might have 40 to 50% chance to win it, even though maybe you're playing a back game, right? You haven't hit a blotch yet, but you can be 40 to 50% chance to win it. So yes, contact game plans become more viable than in normal situations. Okay? So just oh boy. Okay, I guess I should get to work on putting these up. But we had one more. What's the one with Christian? That one right here. This one right here. One more match where I had a number of examples from. I thought we'd get to this point right here. This was pretty easy though, right? What's a match score?
2 away, 2 away. If Mark didn't double, then the next turn would the other guy have doubled?
Do you want to answer that, Mark?
Well, I mean, I think he would, but he might think as the stronger player, he can kind of get an advantage by waiting.
So two equal players. The idea is that one's going to be favored this turn or next turn. So you really should turn the cube no matter what. Right? Don't even think about it. Take the cube out of the decision making. But yes, there are gambits where you can not turn the cube and then double them when they should be taking. Right? But you gain more by going up to 1 away, 2 away Crawford. Okay. So right now, you guys probably don't want to think too much about that. Okay. So usually in a 2 away situation, turn the cube. Because you can end up losing more by not turning the cube by trying for that gambit. Okay, here, beginning of a long match. Oh, is it showing yours?
Yeah, we're still seeing my match.
Oh, wow, that's why. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, I have to protest. You built up all the suspense. We're all hanging on the edges of our seat. Did Mark win or not?
Oh, okay. This was inside an international tournament. And the two contenders for first place was Germany and the United States. And if Germany wins this, they're going to win the tournament, and if USA wins this, they basically flipped a whole match, right? And they're favored to win it. Well, unfortunately, Mark didn't win this one, right?
Mike was trying to be merciful by not telling you.
Well, it looks like you were having a great comeback.
I know.
It was a great showing.
Yeah.
I mean, I now know I made tons of blunders, but I did come back.
So there's no money involved in this tournament, just the glory of being the international champions, right? So it's kind of better to actually end up losing because it'll be a little saltier and you'll learn more from it. The lessons of not doubling earlier will be easier to absorb. That's one way to look at it, right?
Not always.
All right.
You don't look at it as I let down the whole United States, right? Okay, but no, good work, Mark. Carlton is our team captain. I told him that you were a student and we would be talking about the two-way, far away match scores. And you would not normally be a candidate for this, our team, right? But you've gotten a lot stronger. And so you weren't on his radar until I suggested you as our last teammate.
Okay, well, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. So, I mean, it's a great learning experience, right?
Yeah.
And you had the most critical match of all inside the whole tournament.
Exactly what I didn't want going in, but
But it was the same thing in one of our 8x8 tournaments, right? It starts on August 8th at 8 p.m.
right.
Or 8 a.m. Your match was so important to us winning or not winning. Okay, so this one should be easy to evaluate, right? Match score. What does it say about our doubling strategy?
It's like money.
Just like money. Coming in against 5 anchors, so racing game versus a contact game, and chances of him getting a shot.
Low.
No, very low, right?
Yeah.
And so it's basically going to be just what is his chances in the race? He's down 13 pips on 108, so it looks like a running game double and a running game probably take, right? It's a little bit past 12%, but the combination of him getting a shot plus running might make it a take. Let's see. I don't know which way it goes. Yeah, double take. Well, it's a pretty clear take. No. Because the race is really close. Okay, from this match I have how many more? Quite a few more. But they illustrate different concepts. And so I guess we'll call the meeting here. And I'll do something to put it up as I don't know how to do it, as a video or maybe as on the web page or something for the other ones of these. Okay. So was that helpful at all?
Yeah, these are really useful because it shows me how I'm thinking about things wrong.
Yeah, I tried to choose different match score situations, different concepts we can illustrate. And I'm sure there are more out there, right?
Well, I second Kathy. I find these really helpful. So thank you very much, Mike.
They're very
Same.
useful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. So let's see, share this one right here. Oh, so some of these guys are just things that I always want to stress. What are you guys seeing? Okay. Make moves with purpose, right? Don't make nothing plays.
Yeah.
Um, that's something that Frank always teaches his students, move purposely. And when I was playing Wilcox in 1991, he made a play and he says, that doesn't have enough purpose. He said, that's a kind of a wasteful ace. When you're playing, maybe the game flips on you. Maybe you're winning and then all of a sudden you're losing. So don't let that affect you to say, oh gosh, this is what was me, and you know, I'm going to lose now. You should always think about what's your winning chances and how to get there. Okay, so luck is when opportunity meets preparation, and where do you go from here? You can improve by playing on Daily Gammon or Backgammon Studio Heroes, where they record the matches for you. You can analyze it. It's very easy to shove it into XG or Backgammon BG Blitz and then have it analyze it for you. You can study by just flipping through the blunders or your blunders and your errors, or if you want to go through it thoroughly, go step by step. Right? You can study with a stronger player. There's a number of forums on there's a number on Facebook, but there's forums on other places too. But if you post on one of the forums, find one that has some of the strong players coming in and commenting, because you might get some of the top players in the world commenting on the position, right? And then repeat. So you need some play, you need some analyzing, you need some studying. You can play any of those. You can play XG or you can play BG Blitz in tutor mode and get feedback right away. You can analyze a match in Backgammon Blitz, and now Frank has the ability to make Anki cards out of those. So those can be your flashcards, right, to improve your game. And these are spaced repetition cards, which means that if you think you know something really well, you can say, "Don't show me that card for another half a year." If you need to review it more quicker than that, say, "Show it to me within 3 days," right, or anything in between that. So that's the reason why I'm going to be getting BG Blitz pretty soon. As soon as all this work from the semester is over, and using it to make Anki cards, and using that as some of our study sessions, right? How to do just that. BG Blitz, Anki cards, and studying with them. So there's the forums on Facebook, and you watch videos. Like Daniel Rivera's Backgammon is Beautiful. I don't know if he's still coming out with one every week. Nick Blazer, not a top player, but he's good enough. He's good enough to know that he can say, I don't know what is right, but this is the reason why I think this over this. Okay? And that's what's good about Nick. And of course, Michi's YouTube channel. Have you guys watched Michi's videos?
I watch it. He has a school, Michi school.
Right? Are you ready to roll the dice? He's very energetic, right? So best videos to watch are the matches between two good players when they have excellent commentary. Okay? Because there's a number of matches with good players, but the commentary is not so great. It's better to watch those even with the volume off, maybe. How? Well, I don't know. Right? You don't Backgammon is a game that you can keep learning from and learning and learning and learning. And I would have shown you some positions in the Christian match with Christian, the international tournament, where I'm not the favorite and I should be doubling. So I'll definitely pull those out. Where is that? I'll stop share. Here we go. Okay.
Great.
Right on this end for this lesson.
You.
Thanks for a great class, Mike.
Yeah, thank you for an
Thank you.
excellent semester, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Thank you, Mike.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
thank you.
Yeah, later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.